Hello, folks, and I'm Ryan Dunleavy,
And I'm Ryan Zelinsky.
and welcome to the fifth annual episode of the Chicago Cubs Line podcast. As the Cubs had a big 7-1 win today over the Washington Nationals and got a big series W that was very needed going into a tough stretch with Detroit and the Phillies. Ryan, any comments to start us off?
Good win by the boys today. We'll get deeper into it as we go, but we got some cards to deuce.
Yep, we'll start off here. All right, all good. This guy started his career on the Cardinals, then went to the Rangers, and for majority of it went to the Cubs from 2020 to 2023. Big power bat, and he's currently playing in Korea. He was on the Cubs last year, though.
Oh, Wisdom.
Yep, P. Wizzy. All right, next one. All good. This guy's a young pitcher on the Rays. He's 24 years old. He made his debut at age 21, and this is his third year in the big leagues. He's been Rays
Taj,
his entire career.
Taj Bradley.
Yep, Taj Bradley. And then last one, we got a big card here. One of the mega cards. Alright, all good. This guy was the number one ranked prospect in baseball, and he's played 3 years in the big leagues for the Cards.
Jordan Walker.
Yep, big righty bat. Huge card. This is like the size of my head. Alright, Ryan, you want to get into the recap from today's game?
Yeah. So for this episode, we'll do a game recap now, and then we'll get into recap the series against the Nationals, and we're gonna get into the series preview versus the Tigers coming up. A big series.
Huge
So
series, yep.
yeah. So start things off. Pete Crow Armstrong goes deep, 412 feet, 2-run shot, gives the Cubs a 2-0 lead.
Yeah. I do want to note the Kyle Tucker double. He also hit a double in the spot.
The Kyle Tucker double. His first his first start was today, right? Since the injury.
Yes, that is correct. He pinch hit
Yeah,
yesterday and then came in today.
yeah. So that was nice to see. And then PCA homers. Not much to really say here. Just again, I believe we talked about this last night. What do they need to do to win today? I said do what they didn't yesterday. Take advantage of guys on base early, and
For
they
3
did that.
runs.
They did that. Yeah, they did that today. So so PCA homers. Any thoughts on the PCA homer early?
It was good to see PCA hit an Oppo homer because a lot of times you just see him pull the ball. So a little Oppo center field, which was nice. The thing is he's very inconsistent, and when PCA I feel like in his first at bat he's gonna strike out in the dirt or he's gonna go yard. So glad he went yard.
Yeah.
So
And then in the second inning, Ian Happ doubles to right. Matt Shaw scores 3-0 game. This came after Matt Shaw gets
infield.
a little infield single. Just kind of a wacky play. Put the ball in play and good things are gonna happen. Any thoughts really on that play?
It was just kind of off the end of the bat up the middle and a miscommunication, but in the MLB, a knock's a knock, especially for a young kid like him. I think he's hitting like 285 since he came back, which I love to see.
Yeah.
And then the Hap double is a rocket at 107 miles per hour, and it's glad to start seeing him kind of heating up. He didn't really do much. He wasn't an impact player when he got back, and I'm glad to see Ian Happ starting to get hot here when the Cubs need him.
Yeah. He had
Quite the game.
4 RBIs tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so because we were talking about how Ian Happ has really, since his return, just been very slow. Not what you like to see from your leadoff hitter. And then tonight he really comes back in style. And then at the top of the 6th inning, he hits a bomb
Yeah,
to deep, I believe the second deck.
no doubter.
Deep right field. Yeah, no doubter. It was the only doubt was if it was gonna stay fair, but
It
it was way gone.
fourth homer on the year for Ian Happ at 109 miles per hour and 405 feet. And Reese McGuire hit a leadoff single, which made that a 2-run bomb, 5-0 Cubs.
Yeah, and then it was 5-0, and then something I want to point out is I believe it was the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yep.
Colin Ray comes out. Um,
Thielbar
Caleb
came in.
Thielbar gets Caleb Thielbar gets in a little bit of trouble. Bases loaded, 2-2 count on CJ Abrams. A double really changes the game, and he just throws a disgusting curveball, freezes CJ Abrams, gets out of the jam. That's kind of when I knew that they had this game. Um, but yeah, just something to point out there from the bullpen.
Yep. Thielbar's been
And
very good
then
for the Cubs.
yeah, he has.
Great
He's been very good.
lefty matchup, and I think he's starting to get some big at bats for sure.
Yeah. So then in the ninth, Reese McGuire hits the infield single, scores. Nico Horner gets Matt shot at third to make it 6-0. Just some extra insurance. And then I believe it was the next pitch. Ian Happ singles to center, makes it 7-0. More insurance. And then in the ninth, with two outs, just kind of a garbage run for the Nationals. Didn't really mean anything. Presley gets the job done. Did what he had to do, and the Cubs get the win. They get to 39-23. Brian, any more thoughts on the game?
I want to say I love Reese McGuire's head first slide. I don't know how necessary it was because they didn't even throw to first, but that's what you love to see, especially from a catcher. Just like everyday hustle, and he's trying to do his best. And it was some great defense. I do want to note some cannons, a cannon from Tuck in the first inning.
Yes,
Then you had one from Hap, and then PCA's just missed. So some great defense from the
almost.
outfield today.
That is one thing I forgot to mention, the throws from Tuck and Happ and PCA too.
Yeah.
Those were awesome to see. So we'll get into a little bit of a pitching recap here. Again, so Drew Pomerantz, we were kind of confused on who was going to get the start, if it was going to be Ray. We knew it was going to be Pomerantz, but we didn't know who they were going to go to. So Pomerantz gets the start, goes an inning. He gives up a hit, no runs, no strikeouts. He threw 14 pitches, 9 for strikes. Still has not given up a run.
One thing I do want to
Um,
point out about Pomeranz is all the contact he gave up was hard contact, I will admit. The Abrams
yes,
ball, I think like 85 miles an hour. Rosario's was 95, and I think James Woods was like 108. So he did give up a lot of hard contact. It didn't look like he was pleased with the inning he had, but it does the job, honestly. I mean, it could have been he could have had a blooper hit and then a double play and a strikeout. Like you don't know if you don't watch the game, but he still does a
yeah,
job for sure.
yeah. That was surprisingly no harm done in that first inning. And then Colin Ray comes in, goes 5 1/3, gives up 5 hits, no runs, had one walk, no strikeouts, through 80 pitches, 54 for strikes. He's got a 3.59 ERA. He gets the win. He goes up to 4-2. As we mentioned, Caleb Thielbar came in 2/3, gave up one hit, one strikeout, 15 pitches, 9 for strikes. He's got a 1.99 ERA. Then Brad Keller came in, threw an inning, clean across the board. 13 pitches, 8 for strikes. He's got a 2.15 ERA. And then Ryan Presley comes in the ninth. He throws an inning, gives up a hit, gives up a run. No walks, no strikeouts. 19 pitches, 12 for strikes. He's got a 4.3 ERA. Anything kind of jump out to you about the Cubs pitching?
Yeah, I have a question for you. Do you think a guy like Thielbar or a Brad Keller or a Palencia maybe can sneak into the All Star game as a replacement for a guy that doesn't go or is hurt? I mean, three under the weather guys that are having amazing years.
I definitely think it's possible. That now that you bring it up, I don't necessarily think it'll happen, but I think it could be a possibility because again, we are still, a month and a half away from the All-Star game. So anything can really, I mean, again, Drew Pomeranz's ERA 0. Caleb Thielbar, he's pitching real good right now. Brad Keller pitching really good. So yeah, they could definitely be, a reserve for an injured player, a player who doesn't go. But yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, but Keller's looked great all year. One thing I did want to note before Tyson Miller, the Cubs DFA'd him today and took him off of the 60-day IL, and the Cubs signed right-hander Jake Woodford to a minor league deal. He's 28 years old, and he's been a long time, like 4 or 5 starter for the Cardinals, and we've seen some starts from him from the White Sox and the Pirates. The rumor is that he will start for AAA Iowa tomorrow, and definitely add some depth to the pitching staff. Thank you to Wrigley Report for that news.
Yeah, I saw that. I like that. I like that signing. I like that they're trying to add some depth
Yeah, for
going.
sure. Where I was going with that though is if you look at Keller, Pomeranz, all these guys that Colin Ray, even Matthew Boyd, Genesis Cabrera, a lot of these signings that Jed has made have been great signings. So
Yeah,
I'm kind of trusting him with these bullpen arms and what he's seeing. And kudos to the scouting department, and everyone that goes into that because they've done a great job so far this year.
yeah. And while we're still on the topic of pitching, the Cubs bullpen is 43 and 2/3 of an inning. In their last 43 and 2/3 of an inning, the bullpen has given up 1 run. So since I
Yeah,
mean, we again, like I said, we've started we the whole season we've been like, man, imagine this team had a bullpen. Imagine this team had a bullpen.
we do.
We got a bullpen. They've been really good. I don't want to jinx it. But they've been really well. Any thoughts on that stat?
Yeah, I agree with it. I think a lot of guys have stepped up with injuries with Porter Hodge, Presley not having the greatest of years. I think guys like Brad Keller, Drew Pomeranz, Genesis Cabrera, even Brad Keller, a lot of these guys have gotten big outs for the Cubs. So yeah, that's kind of what I got on it.
Yeah, so
Will
we
Barr,
can move to.
I want to give him his credit too. I met him at CubsCon. He's a great dude.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was at the South Bend uh thing, and I got a picture with him. I got to talk with him for a little bit. Really nice guy.
Oh, nice.
I'll put the picture
Um.
when we edit this.
Oh, yeah. Um. Yeah. So, well, now we can move into the series recap. So the Cubs win the series 2-1. We can kind of briefly talk about each game. Fun game on Tuesday.
Hmm.
Bats showed up. Kind of what we expected when we were talking about the series on Sunday. Any extra thoughts about Tuesday's game?
Thought the bats came alive. I want to know Michael Bush almost hit for the cycle. He had a great game. Um, I mean, yeah, nothing. I mean, they did their job. Cade Horton with a pretty good start. Theo Barr, Cabrera, and Presley all doing a great job out of the bullpen. And one thing I want to note for as bad as Presley has been this year, he's still at a 4.5 ERA, which is kind of acceptable for a bullpen arm his age.
Yeah, I agree. 4.3 ERA actually, not
4.3.
4.5, so it's
4.3.
even lower. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah, I agree with you. Bats came alive after being kind of dreadful over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved to Wednesday. We don't have to talk about it as much, but no runs at all. You lose the game 2-0. You waste a gem from Matthew Boyd.
Yeah.
Any brief thoughts or
Matthew Boyd looked great, and I hope he continues that success into Philadelphia, where he will get the ball in Game One. And I want to note that first inning when they had bases loaded, no outs on a great pitcher in Mackenzie Gore, and they didn't get any runs in. So that's when you kind of thought like, dude, this game might not be our one. Even though it's the first inning, there's a lot of game. Um,
yeah, I know what you're saying. There's just a lot of early moments in the game where you're like, boy, you gotta come through.
yeah,
But yeah, like I said, obviously the Cubs aren't, near 500 and fighting to stay in the playoff race. Like there's a lot of positives to take away from, not I won't say a lot of positives,
positives.
but there are positives to take away from Wednesday. The Matthew Boyd
Yeah.
outing
The thing is,
is
I
the
think the Cubs, I mean, they kind of, as much as they did sweep the Rockies, those were kind of dreadful games. I mean, you beat the
yep,
Rockies by 2 run, 1 run, 1 run. I mean, that's kind of not what you want to do. You kind of want to pummel those teams, but sweep to sweep. And then the Bats versus the Reds, they came alive on Sunday, but in 2 games versus the Reds, 4 runs. I mean, that's not going to cut it.
yeah,
As Craig Counsell said, 2 runs isn't going to win a ball game. And then
two
against
runs
the
ain't gonna cut it.
Nats, they were kind of inconsistent. 8 runs, 0 runs, 7 runs. So I think they kind of got to kind of find a consistency. And thing is, like, yeah, Tucker. As much as you want to say stuff about him yesterday, like Kyle Tucker, he can't carry this team. You're gonna have same with PCA. Like, yeah, PCA will give you a bunch of home runs and stolen bases, but those two guys can't step up. You got to have games like Ian Happ did today, like Michael Bush did on Tuesday. You got to have guys to step up from game to game. And another thing I do want to ask you is, um, staying on the topic of Ian Happ, you think during his injury, I know MLB kind of has turned away from this. You think they should have let him go down to Iowa for maybe 2 games and get some swings in, or like what they're doing with some of these guys instead of just throwing them right back in the lineup? Just a discussion.
Yeah, I think they should have gave him some live ABs, because I don't remember exactly how long he was gone for. Was it about
Yeah,
how many weeks?
maybe three
Was
to
it?
four, 3 to 4.
Yeah, so if you're out for 3 to 4 weeks, you got to see some live ABs that kind of just get you back in the flow. So I wouldn't have minded,
Mm-hmm.
but
Would have been
you
better
know,
than him coming up 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts like he did.
yeah, I agree with you. Hopefully he's starting to
In a groove.
get his groove back a little bit. He had a great game tonight, and we'll see what he does this weekend against a really good ball club and a really good pitching staff that we're going to talk about here in a little bit.
Yep.
So, and then we'll cover today, just like we did. Cubs win 7-1. They win the rubber match. Again, I don't know if you have any more thoughts about today's game. We kind
No,
of covered it.
I mean, it wasn't. I know it's 7-1. Like, if you watch this game, it wasn't really like a 7-1 game. I felt it was just kind of like a Like, you still get the job
Yeah,
done, big series win, but the bats were still kind of, you get a couple home runs, but besides that, they got to get some more inning to inning consistency.
yeah, I agree with you. A lot of guys still left in scoring position tonight, so they're gonna have to clean that up going into this weekend.
Yeah, for sure, especially against a good ball club, which I will get into the pitching matchups tomorrow at 6:10 Apple TV game. I know Cubs fans, you hate it. Love Marquee.
Yeah,
On the bump for the Cubs is Ben Brown, 3-3 record, 5.72 ERA. Tarek Skubal, who in my opinion is the best pitcher in baseball right now, on the hill for the Tigers. The Southpaw is 5-2 on the year with a 2.26 ERA, and is making a very good case to be the starting pitcher in Atlanta. And then on Saturday, Jamison Tyon is starting for the Cubs. The right-hander is 5-3 on the year with a 3.76 ERA, coming off what might have been his best start of the year, versus the Reds. And then for Detroit, it is Kieran Montero. Montero's 2-1 on the year with a 4.02 ERA, so he's just kind of having a mediocre year, but he definitely has some good stuff, good off speed, and some good velocity. And then Sunday at 12:40, the Cubs in Game 3 of the series. Cade Horton will be on the bump for the Cubs, 3-0 on the year with a 3.51 ERA. And for the Tigers is Jack Flaherty. Flaherty's 4-6 on the year with a 3.72 ERA. And then Monday through Wednesday, the Cubs will be in Philadelphia taking on the Phillies. And then Thursday through Sunday, they will be at home, at the friendly confines in a 4-game divisional matchup versus the Pirates. And me and Ryan will be there on Friday at 1:20. If you guys see us, make sure to come say hi. And yeah, Paul Skeen's on the bump Friday, which I'm very excited to see.
yeah. Let me ask you this: what is your favorite matchup for the Cubs this coming weekend? Pitching matchup.
It's gotta be Sunday versus Jack Flaherty. I mean, they've seen him a lot with in the Cardinals. 4-6 on the year, so kind of up and down. I don't know. I think the Cubs can really hit off of Jack Flaherty in his last couple of starts. I mean, he had a good start versus the White Sox, good start versus Cleveland. Coming off a couple good starts, I think the Cubs can knock him around. And Cade Horton's looked very good as of late, and I think he's going to continue that. And we're going to see what he's truly made of against a team like this.
Yeah, I agree. His first big test, right? Potentially could be to win a series against the best team in baseball coming out. You got to have a good start. So I'm really excited to see what the kid can do on Sunday against this stacked
Yeah.
Tiger lineup.
What do you got for
But
your favorite matchup?
for my favorite matchup, I agree with you. It's Sunday. Maybe Saturday kind of can make a
Yeah,
case. Definitely not tomorrow night.
no.
Not very intrigued about that one at all.
Yeah,
But yeah, I agree with you. Sunday, Kate Horton, potentially going out to try and win a series against the
yeah.
Tigers.
And
Jack Flaherty, familiar face.
one thing I do want to mention is we are super excited to announce our first collab on Saturday with a post game recap with Playoff Push podcast. We're gonna do a recap with him. Super cool. I'm very excited for that. Ryan, what do you got on that?
I'm very thrilled. Right, we're gonna have a real fun time on Saturday. Very appreciative that he's able to come on and join the podcast with the boys, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, we'll put it up here. Instagram is Playoff Push Podcast 99. So go give them a follow. Show Jack some love. And yeah, super excited for Saturday.
Yeah.
Now,
One thing I want to point out about this weekend is, I mean, can the MLB get some NFL schedule flexing going on? Why are the Cubs and Tigers not on Sunday Night Baseball this coming weekend? I mean, I get it, Yankees Red Sox, but what's the more intriguing matchup? I mean,
yeah, I agree.
you got you got two of the best teams in baseball going at it. Like, let's get this out to a prime time audience.
Yeah, another thing is Dodgers are facing the Cardinals this weekend, so hopefully Dodgers can beat up on them.
Yeah.
Some other scores from today: White Sox beat the Tigers 3-2 in extras. Tim Elko hit a walk-off single. Me and Ryan were gonna go, but just didn't work out. Kind of a last-minute thing.
Yeah.
Um, Astros
That's my
are
bad.
Nah, you're good. Astros are beating the Pirates 3-2. Paredes had a home run. He's on a tear right now. He, I think, will be an all star. 13 homers on the year. Anything you got on Paredes? Like, you think it's worth Kyle Tucker?
Yeah, I mean, happy to see him doing well. Happy to see Cam Smith doing well, but we got Kyle Tucker, so a win-win.
Yep. And one of the craziest games that I was actually watching during the day was the D-backs came back on the Braves. The game finished 11-10. Think it was going into the ninth inning. I believe it was
It was 10-4.
it was 10-4 going into the ninth inning, and then Lourdes Gurriel hit a bomb. Alec Thomas hit a bomb. Ketel Marte with a big single. He might start for that National League at second base. Vargas hit another single, and then Suarez with a double to take the lead, and then Ozuna grounded into a double play to end the game. That might have been one of the craziest ball games I've seen this. Two of the craziest ball games I've seen this year. Yesterday Reds Angels, and today
Yeah.
D-backs uh, Braves. I just wanted to note that those were two crazy games.
Man, I really feel for anybody who had Braves money or yeah, Braves money line. That's bad. That's bad beat of all bad beats right there.
And the Cardinals split the doubleheader with the Royals. Contreras hit a walk-off single in Game 1, and the Royals teed off in Game 2 with a 7-5 win. Jack Caglione with his first big league hit today. The Blue Jays beat up on the Phillies 9-1. The Athletics beat up on the Twins 14-3. Uh, Orioles beat the Mariners in a close contest 4-2. Eflin gets the win down the mound. Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson went back to back. The Giants beat the Padres 3-2 in a huge divisional matchup. Robbie Ray 9 strikeouts. He's 8-1 with a 2.44 ERA. I think he's automatically an all star. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah, I agree with you. Kind of self-explanatory.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Yankees beat the Guardians 4-0. Max Fried, another great start, 8-1 with a 1.78 ERA. You think there's any chance he doesn't start?
I don't. So we talked about our predictions on Monday. I've got him starting.
I have Hunter
Prediction
Brown.
hasn't finished.
Depends on their next couple starts.
Yeah,
Guess we'll see. But who knows? Because Aaron Boone will be managing the American League in the Fall Classic, so we'll see. And then the Rays beat the Tigers 4-3. Got some good slates this weekend for sure. Got the Pennsylvania battle with the Phillies and the Pirates. Got Red Sox Yankees at Yankee Stadium. Doesn't get better than that. Got the D-backs coming to Cincinnati for a 3-game series. Padres versus Brewers, which I think is going to be good because the Brewers are on a heater. And
yeah.
guys, I just want to note this: the Brewers are now one game out of a wild card spot, and are
After being like
five
four a
five
couple
and a
weeks
half
ago.
games out of the Cubs. So they're getting hot at a good time. And yeah, I'm excited for this weekend in baseball. Should be some good matchups.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
got a good game where we got a good series coming up here. A good test for the boys.
yeah, and we got some big divisional games next week too, with the Pirates and the Brewers coming to town.
Yeah,
So
which I might be in attendance for one of the Brewers games, so I'm excited for that.
yeah, we're going to that Pirates game. So
Yeah,
we'll
I'll
do
be at a couple of the
we'll do
divisional.
some game vlog from the game. We'll do some in-game videos on Twitter and Instagram. And
Yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. All the socials. Got a lot of fun things coming.
Ryan, you got trivia, or you want me to do it?
I uh, I got one.
Okay.
I think if this is too easy, you could ask me. But so the Cubs are hopefully this year going to do better than the past 2 years, right? Do you know the record that they tied the 2024 and 2023?
Believe it was 83 and 81, maybe.
Gotcha. It was 83 and 79.
And 70. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I knew the win total. I just forgot. That's on me.
You could ask me. You could ask me. We'll break the rules of our trivia a little bit. We'll do both ways.
Okay. Who was? Hold up. I want to pull this one up. This was a good trivia question that I came up with. Lineup. Sorry. Opening day 2020.
Oh boy, opening day lineup. 2020, you said?
2022. Who
2022?
was
Oh.
the DH on opening day in 2022?
Okay. I'm gonna start by naming guys in the field.
Yep.
So I'll go. All right, Nico is at second,
Nope.
or was he at third?
Short.
Oh, he was at short. That's right. I forgot he played short for that team. I was just playing the show with this roster the other day. Um,
You want me to give you
was
the
it
answer?
Clint? Was it Clint Frazier?
Frazier was not in the lineup this day. Opening day. Here, I'll give you. It's a multiple choice question.
Okay.
Answer A, Jonathan VR. B, Alfonso Rivas. C, Michael Hermosillo. D, Rafael Ortega.
I'm gonna eliminate C because I know he didn't come up for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
D, I'm gonna say no because he played the.
So it's either Rivas or VR.
It's got to be VR. It's got to be VR. Jonathan VR.
Nope, it was Alfonso Rivas, starting DH in 20.
Oh my gosh, bro!
We both
Can
got
you
the point.
believe how far we've come? We've come from Jonathan VR. I know he was playing first, I think. Alfonso Rivas in the opening day lineup. We have Kyle Tucker, Pete Crow Armstrong. We have Dansby Swanson. Like, this is a gift.
Yeah, it is. Like, listen to this bullpen. Like, just ending up.
Oh God.
Jesse Chavez, Scott Efroth, Michael Givens, Chris Martin, Daniel Norris, Ethan Roberts, David Robertson, Michael Rucker, Keegan Thompson, and Rowan Wick.
Rowan Wick, bro. I forgot about Rowan Wick.
Remember
Oh my
Anthony Kay?
God. Dude, all these guys, bro.
Yeah,
Oh
we've
my.
we've been through the thick and thin.
We have been through the thick of the thick and the thin of the thin. Wow.
Thank you guys for tuning in to today's episode of the Cubs Line Podcast. Signing off, I'm Ryan Dunleavy.
I'm Ryan Zielinski.
And fly the W, baby. See you guys in